As we talk about the greening of Oklahoma, the greening of America, OSU-OKC is doing so many outstanding things. Can you imagine, can you visualize 24,000 square foot engineering technology building built, powered by renewable energy? That's what we want to talk about, among other things, as we talk with Jerry Brooks, who's the Vice President of Finance and Operations, and Evelyn Bollenbach, the Senior Director of Marketing and Communications at OSU-OKC, which I'm very fond of. I taught there for a number of years. And Evelyn, let's look at the future here. Let's look at some of these issues, as we were talking before the program, that have to do not only with the dollar savings, but with the environment and with health.
You bet. It's a part of our campus policy and procedure to do what we can to conserve energy, for one. We started out a couple years ago with the energy conservation program because obviously it was an energy saving issue, but it also just makes sense for us to do so. We took buildings that weren't occupied at certain times of the day and controlled the heat and the air and the electricity in those buildings, and very easily saved over $100,000 just controlling those elements that didn't even affect human occupancy. So it was not only a money savings for us, but it was also leads to environmental issues. Well,
this is taking on a new mindset that can have tremendous value.
It does have value, and when we first initiated it, it seemed like it may have been hard for people to grasp, but the generation of students that we're educating, they grew up in an environment that was green. They're concerned about it. They are seeking out green-collar jobs. So saving electricity and using environmentally friendly chemicals, bioplastics, they've grown up with that. So it was no problem for our students to change. It's like when we went tobacco-free on our campus, which is a part of that initiative also, that was just not an issue with them because they had grown up in a world where those changes were common. So the campus was very adaptable to those changes.
Yes, they were already in the flow of that mindset. And Jerry, the engineering technology building, a little bit about this, not just vision, because the groundbreaking will be happening before long, a little about this reality that's about to happen.
This is our latest building that we are looking and going down the list and trying to find everything that we can find that deals with energy efficiency and environmental friendliness. It's going to have a wind generator sitting right outside of it. It's going to have solar panels doing the domestic water. We're harvesting the outside light. Every product that goes in it, chairs, wallboard, ceiling tile, have to fit within a certain specification. Not only do we want to save money, but we also want our students, because we have several programs that deal with the environmental world, and we want our students to be exposed to these things, to see us using them, and to be a part of their training. So this one's going to be the ultimate for us. This is our fourth building in the last 2 years. Each time we build a building, we add some more to it. This building has geothermal heat and air. We're going to be able to control every aspect of that. If we're using this room, it'll be on. If we're not using this room, it'll be off. And that absolutely maximizes our efficiencies.
The students will be living in the environment that's a testimonial to what they're learning.
Very much so.
And so what do we learn as we build each building? What new designs, where do we go to find these designs?
It's the hottest topic in the country. You look at any publication, any website that has something to do with construction or higher education administration, and the topic is green and how we do this. So, and we have consultants. We use Stillwater's Architectural Services. And one of the things in this building, in the last 2 or 3 that we built, we quit using elevators that had hydraulic cylinders, which had hydraulic fluid and those kinds of things. And now these new ones have motors on the sides, and there's no environmental impact on them. Just so many of those kinds of things that each day you find one more of them. A green roof, a parking lot where the solar lights, the parking lot lights are powered by solar, the security lights are powered by solar, and those kinds of things.
There's a word that comes to mind, paradigm. We're seeing a paradigm shift here, and to where we're literally, as we were saying, a new mindset, a way of filtering all of these things that deal with construction and these things deal with the different elements that we're using. And I think that's so significant. it seems like maybe in earlier years we'd just play with this little piece or this little piece, but it still wasn't a complete shift. So are we seeing a total paradigm shift now?
We are at OSU-OKC with our new wind turbine technology degree program. It's such a natural fit for the new engineering technologies building. Part of it will be powered by wind energy. We go out to the community and find companies that have a demand for a certain type of employee, and we are able to very quickly change to train those kind of employees. Wind turbine technology, there's a demand for that right now. So there may be that same paradigm shift from, say, people who may have worked in oil and gas or some other industry are now working in wind energy industry. So when they come to our campus to learn that, they're going to be learning that in an environment where there's actually a wind turbine where part of the energy is generated from that, and they're coming here seeking those green collar jobs. That's what they're there for. So they need to be in an environment where we're aware of our environmental impact, our footprint.
And so OSU-OKC is not static theory. This is a collaboration between the folks who are out there making it happen, the companies that are making it happen, giving you the feedback, this is what we need.
Yes, very much so. We work very closely with our industry advisory boards. So, for example, in engineering technologies, people that actually are in the engineering field, not only in wind turbine, but in other areas of engineering, and they come to the table and they meet us and they meet our faculty and they say, these are the people that we are needing educated and trained to be leaders in this industry, and they help us design curriculum. And so when our students graduate, they know there's industries there in Oklahoma. So if they choose to stay in Oklahoma, they know there's places that they could work here.
These are groundbreaking elements, not just for the building, but cutting edge activities that are happening right here in our state.
Very much so.
And Jerry, a little bit more about the building itself. What's the schedule? How's everything coming according to schedule?
The schedule is moving along very well. We hope to be doing groundbreaking this fall and in the building in the spring term of 2011. This building will house architecture, industrial drafting, power distribution, transmission, construction technology, surveying. Surveying is an interesting field because there was a time when landmen were doing oil leases and gas leases and generating those contracts. Now, we recently had a big conference on our campus and huge attendance because that's a new career now. You're doing leases for wind generators. It's a new kind of contract, has new elements to it, and once again has revived our surveying program because it's a whole new demand. So all of these programs that, I guess you would again say the paradigm switch, have moved from a focus in other elements of the industry now over to those things that are associated with energy.
And no more having to hunt for the energy source. Where is it?
Right.
Exactly.
And I mean that's so immense to realize.
And the
that.
wind turbine technology, that's just one small element of the industry. Those trained in wind turbine technology can then branch out into more of the electrical field or the grid construction or wind energy management. There's so many options out there. It's just a launching pad for all of those.
And the technology developing smaller batteries, more compact, and the ability for the adapters to go from direct current to alternating current. All of these, like you say, you start here, but then you can just keep going because then you've got this outflow of need.
Yes, the students we are talking to now are looking at a career, say they come in their 20s, they're looking at a good 30, 40-year career in wind energy. It's not just something that they're jumping to now and in 2-4 years are going to go somewhere else. They know they have a future in wind energy, and a lot of those students want to stay in Oklahoma. Some of them realize the opportunity to travel to other parts of the nation, but there's just a lot of those students that would like to stay grounded here in Oklahoma because of families, and that energy industry, wind and others, gives them that opportunity to work here.
Let's talk about the educational offering. Let's touch on that again for a moment, that OSU-OKC offers.
Okay,
Is it an associate's?
Yes, it's a 2-year associate's degree in wind turbine technology. Last fall, the Regents approved that as the first degree program in wind turbine technology in the state, and they'll be able to come to our campus and not only have that classroom setting, that lab setting, but also go out in the field and experience climb safety, OSHA rules, all those elements that go along with working in a wind turbine field. And then we have energy partners like OG&E that there will be opportunities for them to go out in the field and have actual field work so they get that experience.
What kind of acclimation are we finding among the our current energy providers to these transitions?
As I said before, those companies have come to us and have said these are the kind of employees we need trained, and so we're working very closely with those energy industries in order to provide them the training that they need, not only wind but other sources of energy.
We had just started a program a couple of years ago on power distribution transmission. Big program for us because you've got to get this power all over the place, and so we were already training these people to go out and put the poles up and set the transformers and do all that. And now this program just fits right in with it, to have wind turbine right beside this program, because we've got the very same industry feeding out of two programs besides electronics and fire safety and those other programs.
This building that is being constructed, 24,000 square foot engineering technologies building, can you, Jerry, kind of in our mind's eye, because I'm sure you've seen all the architectural sketches of this, and it's probably burned in your mind by now what this is going to look like. Take us on a tour as what's going to be a little unique as we walk toward this building and as we go into the building.
Well, starting out with kind of some things I mentioned a while ago, that in the parking lot you're going to see lights that are powered by solar panels, so you're going to see solar panels on poles, and you're going to see this big orange wind turbine generator sitting out there, which is going to be quite a sight by itself. The energy center, we call it, which is a separate part of it, is a big room that we're going to be able to put climbing towers, transformers, all of those kinds of elements in there. There's one room or a major lab there that is strictly fire safety and safety protection. It's not training firefighters. It's the fire equipment, the valves, the alarm systems, all that. Really big program for us. You walk down the hallway and you're going to see construction technology classes. And a big part of this now is computers. Several computer labs for drafting and design and those kinds of things.
So as we talk about the building itself, I'm assuming that there will be window placements for effective...
Absolutely. This was kind of a new one on this one, in fact, that the orientation of the building itself was very thought out so as to how much exposure of sunlight at certain times of the day. And we did change the orientation of the building to get a certain amount of points towards our certification on the building.
And also, we mentioned the wind turbine that's out there. I'm assuming maybe some solar panels. Well, obviously, you were mentioning the lighting.
Absolutely.
But as far as powering the building itself, do you have an idea of the percentage of power that will be provided through these things?
I have not seen the numbers yet. We are still meeting with the consultants on that, so I have not really seen the numbers on that. Part of that, obviously, is based on your location in the state, because they know the wind currents and the times and speeds and all those kinds of things. So, but as Evelyn said earlier, we do want to save energy and we do want to use it, but we also want people to see us using it. So we're not expecting we can run the building for free, but we certainly believe it'll have a big impact.
You'll have a percentage, and I know that at groundbreaking at some point, as the doors are open, that you'll have an open house and you'll want the public to come out and see this magnificent creation that is based on the greening of America, and I appreciate both of you being here. Jerry Brooks, Vice President, Finance and Operations, and Evelyn Bollenbach, Senior Director, Marketing and Communications. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.